Good afternoon and welcome to the, is it November 10th? 18th. Oh, sorry. Welcome to the November 18th Special Called City Commission meeting for the City of Henderson. If you would, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I gotcha. Okay, sorry about that. My eyes are playing tricks on me on the computer. Can we have a call for attendance, please?
Commissioner Witt?
Here.
Commissioner Hargis? Present. Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Here.
Mayor Staten?
Here. First up on the agenda, we have actually 2 Community Spotlight Awards today. And the first one, if I could have the members from the Masonic Lodge who are here to come join me at the podium, please.
Today we're proud to recognize the members of the Jerusalem Masonic Lodge Number 9 for their ongoing efforts to preserve and restore Henderson County's history one headstone at a time. What started as a simple plan to clean a few headstones has become a meaningful long-term project. This dedicated group of volunteers has taken on the task of cleaning, repairing, and leveling monuments and cemeteries across our community. Some of these headstones date back centuries and require careful work, sometimes even pulley systems, to lift, straighten, and restore them to their proper place. The Masons have already worked in cemeteries including Moss, Basket, Mount Zion, and Ridgewood, cleaning dozens of monuments and ensuring that the resting places of veterans and community members alike are treated with care and respect. Their attention to detail and commitment to preserving these historic sites reflects the very best of community service. The City of Henderson proudly recognizes Jerusalem Masonic Lodge Number 9 as our November Community Spotlight.
All right. Mr. Roll has been keeping me well abreast of what's been going on with you all this year. And I got to say, and by the way, I'm Brad.
I'm Steve White.
I think we've met before.
Right, we have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I just want to say I'm very impressed with all the pictures that he's shown and just the amount of grave sites that you all repaired in honor of our veterans. November is the month that contains Veterans Day, and so I thought it was very appropriate to recognize the work that you've been doing. This is going to be the second recognition you had. I read a story, a really good story in the Hendersonian recently about what you all have been doing. And we've noticed also, and just wanted to take the time to honor you for your work here in Henderson. We're very impressed and very appreciative of what you're doing for Henderson and for our veterans. So on behalf of the City of Henderson, please accept this Community Spotlight Award. And if you have anything that you would like to say to the City Commission, that would be it would be great.
Go ahead, you're the speaker.
Well, we thank you for the award and for the recognition. It's definitely a labor of love that we're doing this to pay respect to those that have passed on. And we also want to encourage others to check on their relatives' headstones and see what kind of shape they're in, because I didn't think about it till this year. And when I saw my great-great-grandmother's headstone covered in moss and you couldn't even read it, I'm like, this is not good. I can't let this happen. And so that kind of got me going to doing what we're doing now. But you don't know what your relatives look at, you don't think about it. But if you get out there and look and see what shape they're in, if you don't know how to clean it properly, there's definitely a technique to doing it and certain things to use. Reach out to us and we'll help you learn the proper techniques and how to do it so you're not damaging the stone that you're trying to repair or clean. But
And we've had organizations like the Boy Scouts all the way down in Central City come to me and ask me, how do we do this? And so this is starting to become a grassroots thing here in Kentucky. And plus it's nationwide. There's organizations that have, they wanted to clean all the veterans' headstones by Memorial Day. Now that was a big event. That was a big undertaking to do. And of course they didn't get that way. But it's starting to go. The people, the scouts down in Central City and in Hopkinsville are asking me how to do this. So, it is spreading that not only are we cleaning veterans' headstones, but we'll clean anybody's headstones. But the veterans are easier because the federal government owns the veterans' headstones, where your family, you own that, and if we damage that or do something, or you don't want it cleaned, we can get in trouble. But with the veterans' headstones, it's free game to clean the veterans' headstones.
Good deal. Well, if you all would, please join me at the podium. We're going to snap a quick picture real quick. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Very good.
Good job.
Thank you. Thanks. Very appreciate it. All right, next up, we are going to honor some emergency responders. And if you are here for the community spotlight, if you could join me at the podium. And also, if I could have Josh Hine join us at the podium as well.
In this moment, we pause to honor the incredible bravery and unwavering dedication of our Henderson Police Department and Henderson Fire Department. Recently, our community experienced a heartbreaking tragedy, a house fire, that claimed the life of a cherished Hendersonian. In the midst of such profound loss, our first responders acted with courage, urgency, and deep care. Their efforts saved his wife and ensured she received the immediate help she needed. Even when facing the unimaginable, they showed the very best of what it means to serve and protect. We also want to extend our gratitude to the 911 communication officers, whose quick coordination and calm guidance were essential in getting help to the scene as swiftly as possible. Though their work is often behind the scenes, its impact is always felt. To the family who is here with us today, please know that we mourn with you and we lift you up during this difficult time. Thank you for allowing us to honor and remember your loved one's memory. Today we stand together in grief and gratitude and in recognition of the heroes who serve our community every day.
Josh, if you could come over here for a second. I said a few words I wanted to share with you.
Okay.
So this is the first time we've ever done a spotlight where there was an act of heroism, but there was also a tragedy involved. You know, of course, I knew your father, and on behalf of the city, I just wanted to say you have our condolences for your loss.
Thank you.
And that is something that you never wish for anybody to go through. I was talking with Josh right before the meeting started, and I think a direct quote from you, or as close as direct as I can get, is that because of the bravery and the response from you guys, something wonderful happened out of such a tragedy. And I know that you appreciate their efforts. Our community appreciates your efforts. And so thank you for being willing to run into danger, in this case to save a life that could have otherwise been lost. I know it means a lot to the family, and I know it means a lot to the community that you're here and you're doing this on behalf of Henderson. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. So on behalf of the city of Henderson, I wanted to present this community spotlight to the police department for your bravery and your excellence in service in this particular incident, and really for every day that you guys put on a uniform and serve this community. Would you like to say a few words to the city commission? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys wish to say any words to the city commission?
Sir.
All right. We're going to do this without words, but if I could, if everybody could give them a round of applause for And if I could have the five of you join me, we're going to snap a quick picture for the community spotlight. And thank you all so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Okay. There you go.
Good work. Good work. Appreciate it. Good work. Good work.
Yeah, if we can do the employees first. Yeah, so right now we're going to recognize some new employees.
All right, if I could invite Chief Bowen up to the podium, please. And we have, I believe, 5 new officers with us this evening and a couple returnees.
You guys all want to come up with me? I'll introduce and then let you all do any questions you want. We've got 2 new full-time officers, Angelina Spees, originally from Missouri, currently living in southern Indiana and applied with us and going to be a full-time officer. Colton Lynn, going to be another full-time officer. He's from Henderson County here. Good friends of one of our current officers. I think recruited him for us a little bit, so we're happy to have them on board. Brian Trimborn is coming back to us for a 3rd time. He wants to be one of the school officers, and we're full in all of our schools right now, and he asked if he could come on and help in patrol until another job comes open. So he's going to be working full-time patrol with us, but when we do have an opening in one of the schools, he's going to go there. Aaron Hamilton, retired recently from Owensboro Police Department, and coming over here to work with us. We got several retirees from Owensboro, and I think they may have helped recruit him a little bit. And then Jason Hargett here, a former acting chief, a retiree from the police department, coming back on board to also work in our schools. So we're glad to have all of them on board with us. So I'll let you guys take it from here.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's hard to transition from a kind of a somber moment into a new employee moment. But I'll tell you what, we could use the help at our police department, and it's nice to see that we're getting the help.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful department. I think Chief Bolin and Bob have done a great job leading the department, and I couldn't be prouder at the state of HPD.
Thank you.
Know, at where you guys are, and I think you're coming on at a good time.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for the employees?
No, the one you always ask, what brought you to Henderson?
Yeah.
Henderson. I've always heard it's a really nice community. My mom wants to move out here, and so I thought it'd be really nice to come and help the community out and make it a nice, safer place, especially if she's going to be out here.
Well, I'm bragging on our city. You're in the best city in the United States. So.
Love to hear it.
Good deal. Well, thank you all so much for joining. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sir.
Welcome and welcome back.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and next I'd like to invite Mr. Lingerfeld and his successor up to the podium.
Good afternoon. As you know, I'll be leaving here shortly, so the city manager and the assistant city manager, as well as the HW general manager, had hired my replacement. That's this young man right here. So he started yesterday. Today was day 2. So I'll just let him introduce himself and then let y'all ask him whatever you need to ask.
Mayor, Commissioners, hi, I'm Michael McFadden, also known as Shortly. I think I had the longest commute here from Goodyear, Arizona, moving back to the Midwest South area. Spent 20 years out there between the United States Air Force, Goodyear Police Department, where I retired medically in 2021, became risk and safety for the city of Goodyear, and then ultimately made a decision with my family to move back here. My parents are aging, father's having some medical issues, so I thought it would be a great idea to raise a 5 and 3-year-old in I'm trying to be nice, but less populated area, more family oriented, more core value. And so doing some searching, found that this role was posted, it said over 30 days. I'm like, they haven't hired for it yet. Yes. No, I'm kidding. But I also started researching school scores, the city, what some of the things online were, not Yelp reviews or anything like that, but the actual data. And so we ended up applying and being selected, and I'm very appreciative of that, and so is my family.
That's a really good infomercial for Henderson, my goodness. Look, I was looking for a place that's good with families, has great schools, low utility costs, heck of a good city government.
We might be making it up now.
Yeah. No, thank you for joining us. One of the things that we're going to have to do, I was told the other day, we have a nickname for Sam, and that's Safety Sam. And so we're going to have to come up with a name for Mike, and we've been workshopping a few, like Magic Mike and stuff like that. Has that taken? So we'll have to come up with a good nickname for you since you're going to be our new safety person. But thank you so
Megan
much.
had a great one, if I may share it.
Yeah.
Mitigate Mike, or Mitigate
Mitigate
McFadden.
Mike.
I haven't really heard my first name in 20 years, so if you want to really get my attention, call me by McFadden, like that. So but it's great to be here.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We
Welcome.
appreciate
Welcome to
it.
Henderson.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, if I could say
Yeah.
something real quick, because I think this may be one of the best opportunities, but I do want to take a minute and just appreciate what Sam has done over the years. Sam has completely,
Oh my
you know,
God, yes.
transformed safety within our city as well as HWU. I know Bart and I talk all the time about how valuable Sam is. And I'm going to brag about you publicly for a second, so don't get too big of a head. But the one thing I'll say is when we started talking about finding Sam's replacement, we had very little hope that we would be able to find somebody who would be able to step into Sam's shoes. Because Sam is a safety guy. He's a caterer. He's a trainer. He does all these things. And I will say that the committee was very impressed with Michael. And I think Sam, I always joke with Sam. Sam tells me he can go as early. I tell him he gives me 3 dates. He said I can retire as early as February, but I'll stay till November if you'll have me, if you want me to. I'm like, well, that's basically 3 dates. So anyway, I don't know how much longer exactly we have Sam, but whatever's
Depends on
next
him,
for
a lot of it does.
Yeah, but I do want to say, Sam, thank you for everything. You've done a great job. I know Bart, thinks the exact same thing of you. I know our employees think very highly of you, and Michael, he's laid a good foundation. I think for as long as you have him, absorb all the information you can from him, and I think you're going to be just fine in the position. So
I believe so as well.
I think he will too.
He's a great mentor.
And Sam, almost 20 years. And I've watched you do it and make this, when I speak about how great Henderson is, it's about people like you. I know what you do in government. I know what you do with the employees. I've seen you in the fire department. I know what you give back to the city of Henderson. And that's what when I speak about the greatest city, that's what I'm talking about. These kind of people that we hire and have stayed and put their whole heart and soul into Henderson government. And I can't say thank you enough. I'm going to miss you.
Well, you're welcome, and I think he's going to take it even further. I have high hopes.
So we're still going to have you for a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stretch
I
it.
just wanted to make sure that we didn't need to bid you adieu today.
Either from I would say from the 1st of February through the end of November
Oh,
would be November of 2026 is my absolute done date.
well, it's nice to see you got it narrowed down to a nice
Right.
time frame.
A lot of that depends on the appointing authorities, and how well he does. So he has to do really well.
Yeah.
Because if he does well, I may leave in January versus February. So I'm in a state of flux right now. So, but I'm excited that he's going to
Keep it fluctuating.
he's going to allow me to leave earlier than if I need to, if I want
Just
to.
make sure that we know when to make the cake and punch.
I thought I was making the cake.
Hey, there you go.
Okay, good. Somebody else. All right.
Yeah, I don't know who makes the punch for the retirement parties. Who is that? Dawn. Dawn makes the punch. It's a good punch. I just want to let you know. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
and we have one more from the water utility, so I'd like to invite Mr. Bowles up and Mr. Paul.
Gosh, it's tough to follow. It's a big day today. Yeah. And just before I introduce Nick, Sam has been a huge part of the city, the water utility. I doubt there's one time in my 7 years I've called him that he has not answered the phone. He's always there, whether we need tables, whether we need confined space, whether we need whatever. He's been amazing to us, and very thankful for him, and thankful for Mike McFadden. We're looking have good things in store for him, so excited to have him. This is Nick Paul. He's a utility system worker 1. He's actually from Henderson, had a short drive. Spent about 10 years in the restaurant business,
Yep.
and happy to have him. So started yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you came back after the first day.
Yes, sir.
That's a good sign. Yes, sir. So how was it? How do you think you're gonna like working out
I
there?
think I might like it.
Yeah. Was there anything specific that brought you to the water department?
Nothing specific, just looking for something different.
Yep. Well,
Good
deal.
people.
Good people.
Good people,
Yeah.
yeah.
The great management, right?
There we go.
Well, thank you for coming on board. We appreciate having you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is all for this afternoon.
All right, we have a brief presentation from the Kentucky League of Cities here to talk about the City of Henderson investments. Can you hear us on the computer?
Yeah, I did. Make sure I hit the unmute button. It's always important.
Well, it is your turn to shine if you want to take it away.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, I appreciate the opportunity to come before you all tonight in a virtual from the future. It's 4:20 here in the future. If you have any questions within the next hour, let me know. But I've been speaking with the mayor. I wanted to have an opportunity to come in front of y'all to talk about the partnership between the city of Henderson and the Kentucky League of Cities as it relates to the investment pool program. There are 4 items I really kind of want to hammer on quickly and concisely, just to give you a good basic understanding of where we are and the successes that have been achieved by your all city officials and staff members on board. So history-wise, 2019 was a big year for investment opportunities for cities. That's when we had this significant revision to state statute that expanded the permitted investments. That was intended to allow for revenue diversification, and the city of Henderson has been the star example of how that intention met reality and then some. So as we had that revision to the investment pool program, Kentucky League of Cities said we need to provide a mechanism that we can provide efficient and economic access for cities across all spectrums, such that this opportunity does not go to waste. And that's just a brief history of where we started and where we are today with the investment pool program. I want to talk quickly about the behind the scenes, what's going on in the city of Henderson, especially speaking to the guidance that is being provided from the staff members directly to myself and then my investment partner, PNC Institutional Asset Management. But you have a great staff behind the scenes that is working diligently on behalf of the commission and the citizens of Henderson. Dylan, Chelsea, and Buzzy have been great partners and are on the front line when it comes to being prudent and practical with the level of risk exposure that is necessary for the city to achieve their outcomes without undue risk. And that guidance is not just confined to the relationship of KLC and the city of Henderson. We're actually very lucky to have representing us on our governance board for the investment pool program. So the voice of Henderson is not only coming up through the pipeline through this governance board, it is also helping to shape and evolve and grow this program on behalf of communities across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And Chelsea, she has been a godsend for that ability to provide that financial director component, to provide that practical knowledge, such that what we at KLC are living up to our end of the bargain to make sure that this meets the actual on-the-ground needs. Now that's all great and dandy until you talk all the qualitative information you want. I think we're all most important to talk about what is quantitative successes that the city has achieved. We can quickly summarize it to say $2.5 billion. That is the amount of money the city has generated under the stewardship and guidance of your investment committee. They have grown the investment position. We've received a $9.7 million of investment, and that has now grown to over $12.3 million without undue risk, without any type of unnecessary exposure. This is the gold star of success stories when it comes to proper implementation and providing opportunities both for today and tomorrow as it comes to the citizens of Henderson. This is a great opportunity for Buzzy and Dylan and Chelsea to pat themselves on the back, because I'm sure that knowing them, they're on to the next task and the next to-do item. But that quickly wraps up what I wanted to speak on. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them, or if you want to go into the devil of the details, I love this stuff, but I don't want to belabor this into a commission meeting.
Well, thank you so much. Do any of our members of the commission have any questions?
Good work.
What's that?
Was he finished?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, we had, so maybe a week or two ago, we had a meeting that I attended the back half of the meeting with Chelsea and Buzzy and Dylan about our investments. And I thought it was interesting enough information, and it's not something that we really go over on a regular basis. I thought it was a good time to have an update just for you guys, just to see what our money is doing behind the scenes. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate it. Yes, sir.
If I could add one comment. So, Stephen, I appreciate the kind words, but I would have to say most of the credit is due to Chelsea and
Yes,
the mayor.
it
Because
is.
I do want to, okay.
Sorry.
I caught you off guard.
Chelsea. Yeah,
But I will say that, Buzzy and I are in the room, and Buzzy even more so than me, but especially Chelsea and the mayor, because, being, the mayor's background is obviously in the financial advisory role. And so he and Chelsea together have advised Stephen very well on, how to take the appropriate amount of risk without not risking too much. And I think, as Stephen showed, those results speak for themselves. So I did want to make sure I mentioned you as well, because you've been a large part of those decisions as well.
Well, thank you. And thank you again for joining us. We appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have a need for a consent agenda.
The consent agenda contains the minutes of the October 28th, 2025 regular meeting and resolution number 98-25, resolution accepting human resources report dated November 18th, 2025, approving all actions contained within and authorizing the mayor to execute any necessary contracts for employment, and resolution number 99-25, resolution approving agreement and statement of affiliation between the Henderson City County Rescue Squad Incorporated, the City of Henderson, the County of Henderson, and Henderson Emergency Management.
Before we get a motion to approve, does any commissioner wish to pull any individual item out for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve, please. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis? Aye. Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a second reading related to Henderson Water Utility Ordinance classification.
Ordinance number 33-25, ordinance amending job classifications and pay plan, and ordinance approving amendment to job classifications and pay plan by creating the position of HWU Automated Meter Infrastructure AMI Technician Lead.
We have a motion to approve, please.
Moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis? Aye. Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. The next ordinance is related. We have an ordinance amending positions for HWU.
Ordinance number 34-25, ordinance amending portion of Henderson Water Utility 2025-2026 budget, ordinance amending Henderson Water Utility schedule of budgeted positions of the 2025-2026 budget by adding one newly created HWU Automated Meter Infrastructure AMI Technician Lead position.
Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis? Aye. Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. The next two ordinances are related in our first readings. The first one is for a pay plan adjustment for the gas department.
Ordinance number 35-25, ordinance amending job classifications and pay plan, and ordinance approving amendment to job classifications and pay plan by creating the position of gas distribution technician senior.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis? Aye. Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next is an ordinance amending the budget for the gas department.
Ordinance number 36-25, ordinance amending portion of City of Henderson fiscal year 2026 budget and appropriation, ordinance amending City of Henderson budgeted positions and job classifications of the 2025-2026 budget by deleting one gas distribution technician position and adding one gas distribution technician senior position.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis? Aye. Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 17 regarding sports complex.
Ordinance number 37-25, ordinance amending Chapter 17, Parks and Recreation, Sports Complex Rental Rates. An ordinance adding Section 17-8 rental rates for the sports complex to Article 1 in general of Chapter 17, Parks and Recreation of the City of Henderson Code of Ordinances.
We have a motion to approve, please. Do we have a second?
Second.
Dylan, I think you had a few comments you wanted to make about this one.
Yeah, so just for clarification on this, so what y'all are approving tonight is the first read of an ordinance amendment. So if you look in our code of ordinances, we have several facilities that we charge to rent. And so the way the ordinances read is it says, like, we'll use the JFK Center, for example. Code of ordinances may say, you know, the fees charged at the JFK Center will be set by resolution, you know, from time to time by the Board of Commissioners. So what we're actually approving tonight is the first read of basically that same language for the sports complex. So we're basically adding the language, I believe it says all persons renting the sports complex located on Airline Road shall pay fees according to a fee schedule which shall be established from time to time by resolution of the Board of Commissioners. So this is the first read. At our next meeting in December, we would have the second read. At that time, we would also bring forward a resolution with the actual proposed rates. So just for clarification, we had a work session back in August earlier this year, and what we included in the agenda packet was a copy of my presentation from that. It lists out all the rates. So if any of you all have any questions or concerns about that, please let me know prior to the second or our next meeting in December, and we can adjust the resolution accordingly. But actually, at the meeting in December would be when we actually would approve those rates. This would just be the first resolution establishing those.
All right. Does anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance related to administrative hold.
Ordinance number 38-25, ordinance amending Chapter 21 taxation regarding administrative hold. An ordinance amending Section 21-2 administrative hold of Chapter 21 taxation, Article 1 in general of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second?
Do we have any comments, questions, or suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, under municipal orders, we have something authorizing a purchase and installation of playground equipment.
Municipal order number 75-25, municipal order authorizing payment of $370,200 to Miracle of Kentucky and Tennessee for new playground equipment, surfacing, sunshades, and installation at Deaconess Henderson Sportsplex Playground, funded by the Land and Water Conservation Grant, and then the Kentucky Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation Grant Program.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second? I do think it is important to talk about the funding sources on this one. So it's $370,000 as a line item, but none of, am I correct in saying none of that is actually coming from money that was collected from local taxpayers? The grant, the Land and Water Grant, is paying for a good portion of this, and then the grant program from the state is paying the other portion from this. And just wanted to thank our project management team and Dylan for getting that arranged in that manner, so we can continue to make improvements in the community that don't put unnecessary tax burden on our individual citizens alone. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I just want to say that's a big deal when you can get that kind of money and not take it out of taxpayer general fund, and be able to get those kind of grants and be able to upgrade our parks and recreation. That's awesome.
Yep, I agree. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, under City Manager's Report, we have an update on the Public Safety Building, better known as the Peabody Building, and the HVAC system.
Yes, sir. So I will start out by saying Assistant City Manager Buzzy Newman, he sends his regards. He was unable to be with us today due to an unexpected health issue. So I'm going to give this update in his place, and I've also asked Wes from Municipal Facilities to be here as well to answer any technical questions should you all have those. So I'm going to kind of just start at the top, talk through kind of where we're at, and then give you all our recommendation, and then talk about next steps. So at this meeting, we don't anticipate any action. Ultimately, what we're looking for is just kind of, if you kind of agree with the direction we're kind of headed. And I do want to acknowledge, I know we've got some staff here from PD. I don't know if anybody else in the audience is from that building, but I appreciate you all being here so you all can hear this as well. So as you all know, for several months now, well, let's back up even further. This summer, we had issues with specifically the air conditioning at what we call the Peabody Building, which affected multiple departments. Since that time, we've moved out a couple of departments to the old Hempel Administration Building, and then various other departments, specifically HPD, have continued to occupy that building. So during the last few months, staff has been working with an architect to look at what other options that we could do. And so after turning over several different stones and looking at several different options, at this juncture, it is staff's recommendation that the best and most economical option is to stay at the Peabody or Public Safety Building. So that is what we're recommending. So what we're recommending specifically as it relates to the scope of work is that there are two, and this is kind of technical, but I'll talk through this, is that we plan to remove and replace the two existing air handling units. We then plan to buy an outside ground air-cooled chill unit, and we plan to utilize the existing ductwork throughout the building for these new units with some additional ductwork for the new unit. So when we had started talking about, that scope of work does differ from the previous scope of work. And so when we had started talking about the original scope of work, we were talking in the $3 to $3.5 million range. This proposed scope of work is more in the $1 million range, is what we're proposing. So what our plan would be moving forward is that we would plan at the next December meeting, which we'll talk about in a minute. We'll probably have a special called meeting on the third Tuesday in December, just due to the schedule and holidays. But at that meeting, it would be our intent to bring before you all a municipal order to authorize the purchase of the 3 pieces of equipment that I mentioned earlier via a Sourcewell contract, which would allow us to basically jumpstart the process. So typically we bid things, but I'm going to probably not get the lingo exactly right, but there's other groups that do the bidding for us that we can then buy off of to have that savings as well. And so we can actually buy those 3 pieces of equipment. And what that does is that saves us some time, probably saves us about 60 days, so they won't have to go through our own procurement. So the hope would be we would get that contract, we would have finance review it, make sure everything's squared away. We'd bring a municipal order forward to you all in December. We'd get that approved and get those 3 pieces of equipment ordered. Those would be about, roughly half the cost, probably about $400,000, and those are the long lead items. So as those would be on order, we would have our engineering team work on a bid package for the actual demolition, so the removal of the units, and then the construction for when those units are received. The hope would be is that would be ready for bid in early February, and then those would be open sometime in March, and we could award that contract in March, which would coincide with the delivery of the equipment that was ordered in December. At this point, it's kind of an aggressive schedule, but at this point, the target date is early May for completion. Obviously, hoping to get this done before the next cooling season that we need the stuff in place. And so in my conversation with the assistant city manager earlier this afternoon, both the engineer and staff are confident that this is the best approach with all the other options. I mean, very transparently, we've looked at, other options within the same building. We've also looked at other buildings. We've looked at, long year plans. What does that look like? And we think this is the best. I will say just a couple points to hit home. It's my understanding that this system with these changes should function as it did before. I've asked Wes to join us just in case there's any technical questions, but it's my understanding that the system that was more expensive provided increased functionality that would have been nice, but that what we're doing here would be similar to the functionality that we had previously. And I do want to take a minute and just acknowledge, especially HPD, because you all have the most people back there. We appreciate your all's patience on that. I know this has been a frustrating issue and it's taken a long time, but we appreciate y'all sticking with us on it. And hopefully this will be a good solution for everybody, and hopefully we'll get it in place before you all really need it come summer of next year. So with that, that's the update I have. If you all have any questions, so really at this point, the plan would be to bring forward, the next step would be to bring forward the municipal order at the December meeting, get the equipment ordered, and proceed in that way. And so really, we're just looking to see if you are kind of in agreement with that plan, or if you have any questions for staff.
I want to start by saying appreciate you guys listening to us and us working together as a team on it. We did. We had quite a few discussions and went through the process of looking at purchasing another building to house our police department. Ultimately, the finances just didn't work out on that. It was going to cost a lot of money to do that and retrofit it, and then repair some of the same issues in the building we were looking at as the issues that you're experiencing in the building you're already in. And so I believe this is the correct route to go. I appreciate the fact that it saves nearly $2.5 million of taxpayer money from where we were to where we arrived at. And that we're going to be able to fit this in the timeline to get it done hopefully before any of the heat hits. We've got a tight timeline, but we're going to do everything we can to try to get that in place by mid-May at the latest, and move forward there. And then this also gets us through a period of time where either we or future commissions and the police department itself can look at more of a 20, 30, 40-year plan for the police department. And if that includes staying in the building for that long, or if it includes a new campus somewhere that's more centrally located in town. and really take the time to listen to our police officers and see what you need and see what would be best for the department. And so I like where we ended up. We've had a lot of conversations about it, and I feel good about this direction, but I'm only one of us. I'd like to hear from the other commissioners just to make sure that they know that you are or are not in agreement with the direction that we're headed so that they can continue to flesh this out and get something in front of us in December.
All right, I'm in favor of it. A lot better than what we were looking at. Like I said, it costs too much to retrofit the other place we were looking. We'll say this, we need to start looking at these other buildings and start coming up with a game plan for those, and how to fit in the budget in the near future. Because we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, we looked at a lot of options. This definitely seems like the best of all of those, especially in terms of savings, but also the timeline of being able to make sure that it's in place about what we need in next year. So, I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, we did our due diligence, looking for, like I said, different options, and as we looked, the money just kept going up, and we knew we was out of our ball field on that. If we can get this air back in and work good for $1 million, that's the best option.
I agree with you. I do really think we did our due diligence in looking at all of the scenarios with this one, trying to come up with what would work best, and I think this is the best solution.
Good deal. Well, it sounds like you've got a consensus to move forward on this plan, and then just if you can do your absolute best to keep us on task. I don't want to get into it, to the extent that we can help it. I do not want to get into a scenario where we're going into the heat of the summer and they still don't have this repaired. They deserve to have a comfortable and pleasant environment to work in. So, thank you for the update. We appreciate it. Let's see. Next up is discussion of community support issues. That's me. So Dylan and I have had the opportunity to speak with, and they've all three been very cooperative, our utility partners, gas, electric, water. They have spoken to their individual boards as that is applicable, the ones that have boards that they meet with. And we would like to do something that would form a four-way partnership heading into the winter. Recently, we went through a government shutdown that was the longest in history and has had ripple effects on our economy. And there are more people kind of struggling through Christmas this year, the Christmas season, the winter season, than we've had in quite some time. And I think at some point in times, we've got to pay attention to what's going on around us and do what we can. And so we've come up with a plan together to do something for the community that doesn't cost each individual entity very much money, but when you put our four contributions together, it creates a substantial pot of money for people who need it. And so if you all give the okay to go ahead, we're not officially going to be voting on it today. It would be something that we would vote on in December. What we would like to do is ask our respective bodies, the city, the water department, the gas department, and the electric department, each to put in $15,000 for a total of $60,000 that is going to go toward a utility assistance fund, one time as a utility assistance fund, not a continuous thing, in account for the state of things and the state of the economy at the moment, to get us through the winter and to get our people through the winter. If you all were to give the go-ahead on that, what we will do is, in a minute, I'm going to talk about the meeting schedule for December, and I'll mention it now. In December, what we're thinking is we're going to do the same schedule that we did in November. Because of the holidays, instead of having one early meeting and no late meeting, we're going to have one meeting in the middle of the month so that we can make sure we get all the business in for the year. So that third Tuesday in December is when our next meeting would be. If you all gave a consensus opinion to move ahead, what we would do is we would specifically work with our utility partners, and we would work with the folks at Christian Community Outreach, and then it would be my suggestion that if it's okay with you, that Commissioner Hargis also attend those meetings to flesh out what the implementation of that program is exactly going to look like in terms of how much money would be eligible per each family and what the criteria would be for earning that specific assistance award this winter. And we'll keep in mind the need, also keep in mind getting the money to where it needs to go and not going to places it does not need to go just because it's there, and try to balance that and come up with something that I think we could be proud of to vote on in December. And so I'd like to just ask for a kind of a consensus to move forward with fleshing that out from you guys, or what your opinion of that would be. And I'll start at the end here with Commissioner Thomas.
Oh, absolutely, I'm in favor of it. You know, all the money's tapped out now for any assistance because of the shutdown, and if we happen to have a harsh winter, it could get ugly for some folks.
Commissioner Witt.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Commissioner Pruitt. Commissioner Harkins.
Yes, my only thing was just making sure that it goes to those who truly need it and not other places. So
Right.
as long as we get that on the backside, I think it's okay.
And I knew that would be a concern of yours, which is why I recommend that you be on the team to put that together also, so that those concerns could be heard as well.
Sure.
So that we're considering things from all different angles. But I think we have the opportunity, like I said, just to pull our money together. It's 4 entities, it's $15,000 each, for $60,000 total, and I think it could be of great benefit to people in our community who need it the most in the coming months. So we'll continue to put that together, and we'll bring that back in December to have something to vote on. Let's see, we've got executive session. Before we do executive session, let's clear out does any commissioner have any comments that he or she would like to make?
I would just like to say, if you never served anybody any food or volunteered to serve, if you had, it's the most gratifying thing that ever. And as elected officials, I do it quite often, but we did the Homeless Coalition yesterday, and to see all those people come in, and you do a lot of stuff in your life. Maybe you climb Mount Everest, whatever you do. The most gratifying thing I've ever done is to serve people food. So if you had never done that, try that and see what it does for you. So it was really gratifying.
All right. Commissioner Hargis?
Not today.
Commissioner Witt, Thomas? No. I've got just a few things. As I mentioned, we got upcoming meeting schedules on December the 4th. That's going to be the Intercity Improvement Plan presentation. It's going to be at the MSC building at 6 o'clock. And that'll be, technically, it'll be a work session for us. We may have need for an executive session between this meeting and our December meeting. And if we do, I did want to ask if you all would like to do that at 5:30 that same evening, and just it'd probably be like a little 10 to 15 minute thing. That way I don't have to convene you again, and we would be all available. Is that okay with you guys? Should we need that spot? Okay. Like I mentioned just a second ago, we'll have a special call meeting on December the 16th, which is the third Tuesday in December. That will be in lieu of or to replace the December 9th meeting. We will not be having a meeting on December 9th. Instead, we will have the one meeting on the December 12th. Make sure you're flexible. If we have business that comes up that has to be done before the end of the year, we may have need for a special call sometime that week after Christmas. Don't anticipate having that need, but that should help consolidate things there. And I've got two things I just want to mention real quick. One has to do with our billing dates. We had utility billing dates. So we had discussions earlier on this year. When we run into issues with delays, with people getting their bills and then having their due dates kind of hit them a day or two later, it's always the same time of year, and it's always over the winter time. And I would submit that the most likely reason for that is two things, or three things actually. One would be holiday shipments, clogging up the system in December. Number two would be the holiday schedule. So when you run into Christmas and then Thanksgiving, and then maybe even more detrimental to trying to get utility bills out on time are mid-month holidays. In January and February, you have one of those each when you have Martin Luther King Day and President's Day there too. And then you also have the chance for inclement weather. And so when you combine all those, it is cyclical, and you can almost set your clock by it if we're paying enough attention. That people are going to get their bills, and they're going to have a very, very short amount of time to pay them because there's going to be delays in the mail. And so I want to encourage our people to keep that in mind, take a look at what we're doing, and try to work our best instead of just taking the easy road and just blaming the mail system. Let's take a chance to look at that and see if there's anything we can do so that we're not causing people extra stress of having due dates a day or two after they receive their bills in the mail, potentially this winter. And then one thing that I had spoken with our city manager about earlier is I'd like for us to also take a look at, and this is separate from finance, it's a public works thing, I'd like it for us to take a look at our highest incident rate areas in terms of car accidents. I know one of them is, for example, 2nd and Green Street is a high incident area. It's not the highest, but it's a high incident area. And what I'd like to do is have our Public Works Department and Public Safety, police and maybe fire or whoever else is applicable, just take a look at it and see if there's some low-hanging fruit that we can do to make those areas safer for our community. And specifically what I'm talking about is if you drive 2nd Street and you're going away from the river and you approach the Green Street intersection, there's hardly any striping. And it's been that way for quite some time. And so things like that, the presence of striping and directional stuff, the timing of the lights, just things like that don't require lots of money, but could be small things that we could do to improve safety. I'd like for us to take a concerted effort at looking at areas like that, and like Barrett and 60, and like Watson, Watson and 41, and areas like that, to see if there's any low-hanging fruit that we can do to make those areas safer for our citizens. We've had a lot of wrecks especially on the Strip this year, and a lot, and an abnormal amount of wrecks on the Strip this year. And nobody wants to see that or experience that or be involved in that or be delayed by that. And so if there's anything we can do there, that would be great. And with that, we do have need for executive session. Before we get a motion, we are likely to come back with action. So if you would like to come back, that would be fine. I would anticipate it to take 15 to 20 minutes. That's not going to be a very long one. We have a motion for executive session.
I move the commission go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810 subsection C for discussion of proposed litigation against the city of Henderson.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We are going to stay in this room, and so if you don't mind, if you're not part of the executive session, if you could leave, and then we will call you back most likely in No, okay, we're good. Good.
Done.
Does this thing need to be on for the volume?
That was for,
Zoom, we're good, so we're on, people can hear me? Okay, good deal.
that was for the chaos.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to come out of executive session, please. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We are in regular session. For this one, we're gonna do some explaining because there's a lot that we need to discuss. But before we do that part, is it an ordinance? Is that what it is?
Municipal order.
Thank you. We have a municipal order.
Municipal Order Number 76-25, municipal order authorizing the mayor to execute releases in exchange for individual payments to affected officers and former officers of the Henderson Police Department with the total amount of all payments, including employer benefits, not to exceed $250,000, with each officer's payment to be individually calculated based on pay adjustment arising from initial placement and progression on the former hazardous duty pay plan.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Miss Megan, do you mind to come up and explain to us and explain to the people who might be watching what
Yes.
we're looking at?
So I'm going to read it just to make sure that I cover everything. You will recall in May of 2025, the police department was moved to a different pay plan. This municipal order addresses issues discovered in that process. To allow for better understanding, I'd like to understand our process. In December 2016, the police department transitioned from the city's pay plan to the hazardous duty pay plan with the goal of providing better pay for sworn officers. Each employee was placed in a pay band based on years of experience. The first pay band was for year one, meaning an officer with 0 years of experience would be in the year one band, and an officer with 1 year of experience would be in the 2-year band, and so on. In May of this year, HPD employees migrated back from the hazardous duty pay plan back to the original pay plan. The decision to move from the hazardous duty pay plan was due to inconsistencies in the pay scale. Under the hazardous duty pay plan, some pay bands were 12 months and others were 24 months in duration, and they had inconsistent increases between each. With this transition, all sworn HPD staff were also given additional pay increases. During this process, the hazardous duty pay scale was closely analyzed, and it was discovered that some officers were initially placed in the wrong pay band, and others were placed at the wrong increment within that pay band, resulting in underpayment for at least part of the time. It is presumed that the mistake was likely made due to the difference between pay band years and years of experience. Effective May 26, 2025, Human Resources corrected the officers who were in the wrong pay band, and prorated raises were given to all eligible HPD staff to ensure that credit was given for the time spent in their current pay band, which effectively corrected everybody's pay going forward. They were then transitioned to the original pay scale at the correct rate with the increase. Human Resources, in conjunction with the Police Department Secretary Wendy Sugg, worked to calculate the payments for the officers who were originally classified incorrectly. With the passing of this resolution, all affected staff, current and former, will be compensated for this time. The pay plan was closely inspected, and we feel confident that this issue only affected employees in the police department. Furthermore, only HPD employees who held the rank of police officer in December of 2016 were affected. No HPD employees hired after 2016 were affected, nor were any HPD employees who held rank in December of 2016 affected. Affected individuals will be contacted by Human Resources by Friday of this week. The City of Henderson is dedicated to equality and fairness, and we believe this resolution shows just that. To the current members of the police department, we appreciate your patience. We know this has been a long process, and we appreciate your understanding that we must do this the right way. Thank you to the Commission for allowing us to correct this issue. And finally, I want to say thank you to all Henderson police officers, past and present. Your service to our community is invaluable, and for that we are grateful.
Thank you. I think Dylan has some things you would like to
Yeah.
add also, please.
So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Megan. And Officer Elliott, I'm going to address you since you're the representative in the room from HPD. But I'll just say this, the amount of work that Wendy Sugg with the police department and Megan with our HR department have put into this has been extraordinary. When this issue was first, when we kind of were first made aware of the issue in May, it took some time to figure out the scope, who all was impacted, and then specifically to get to this point today where we actually had a numerical value for what that cost would be. And so the amount of data that Wendy and Megan had to mine and go through was extraordinary. I do want to thank both of you all for your efforts. And just to be clear, there was a kind of a double check on this, so to speak. So Wendy actually mined the data herself from New World, looked at every pay period, every officer who was affected during a pay period in that 10-year period or roughly 10-year period. And then Megan did an independent analysis of that. And, you know, between the two, only had slight modifications on certain things, and both of them with the numbers we're presenting, we feel very confident that the numbers presented today are accurate. And so I wanted to say that. I also wanted to say a thank you to PD. I know that this process, has taken a little time, but I appreciate their patience with us to make sure that we got it right. As I've kind of been said, as we've been working through this, we wanted to make sure that we only had to do this once and that we did it right, and I'm confident that we've arrived there today. So thank you to PD for your patience with us as we work through that. And then the last thing I want to say is, while we're talking about an oversight that occurred years ago, I actually think that this is a good day. I think, the reason why we're doing this is, it's the right thing to do. And that's why we're doing this, is we think, our PD is highly regarded, highly respected, and this is money that they deserved. This is money that they were entitled to. And so really my motivation, Megan's motivation, has never been anything other than doing this because it's the right thing to do, and we wanted to support our police officers. So with that, I just want to echo again, thank you to HPD, thank you to Megan, thank you to you all for your support of this, and that's all I have to say at this point.
So this has been, as you mentioned, this has been an issue that you all, and we've been a part of a couple of conversations regarding that too, and we've had the luxury of being able to ask questions of each other the entire time. And so now the public is seeing this information quite possibly for the first time, the vast majority of them. And so they may have some similar questions that I don't want to take for granted, that because we've known the answers to the questions for quite some time, we should probably have that information confirmed. And so one of the questions that came up in the process that I want to make sure that I ask you on behalf of the public is, how do we know that this was just isolated to those individuals in that department? Mm-hmm. Can you explain that, please?
You want me to do that, or you want to take that one?
Either way.
I'll let you start,
Okay.
and I'll add anything.
So this, when we went to the hazardous duty pay plan in 2016, at that time, the police department was the only department that went into that pay plan. A short time later, another department went into that pay plan, but it was analyzed a little bit more heavily, and there was a little bit more time involved with that, and so we believe that that is why that was correct, but we did go back and double check everyone. We had the secretaries as well as the chiefs double check these, and it does appear to be isolated to police officers employed in 2016 December. And that's not exclusively every officer in December of 2016. It's a select number.
Gotcha. That was a good answer. I just wanted to make sure that if anybody's out there listening, that's the biggest question I think that's come up out of all of this is how do we know we're correct? And you kind of hit on that. I mean, if you had two different sets of eyes mining the data and mining the initial inputs, so to speak, into the system, and seeing where those might have been, or where those were off, regarding the individuals that are owed pay that they should have gotten as a result of that pay plan adjustment. And then you did an exhaustive review of everybody who was ever put into that plan, all different departments and everybody else, and were able to accurately determine that these specific individuals were the only ones who were impacted, and the dollar amount specific that they were impacted by.
Correct.
And I wanted to thank you for going through that. I can understand why it took several months to get to this point. It's a laborious process that you want to get correct, and you want to make sure that it's correct on behalf of the taxpayers, and it's correct on behalf of the police department. And I think that you guys have done a great job getting us to this point. Nobody ever wants to go out and give money for a mistake that was made in the past. But I'll tell you one thing I don't want to do is start pointing fingers at whoever was around at that period of time. It could have happened to anybody. The important thing is like Dylan said, we're making it right. and we're making it right by the people who deserve to have that money, that should have had that money in the beginning. And I'm actually, even though a mistake was made, I'm proud of the solution that you all have come up with for this mistake. I feel like it was very thorough and very accurate. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments on this particular situation?
I just want to piggyback on what you said.
Yeah.
I'm proud that, to be in this commission, that we'll go back when you find something and make it right. That's what we do. We make it right. Sometimes, that's whatever it takes, we make it right.
Good deal. Any other comments or questions? All right, we do have thank you, Megan. We do have a motion and a second on the floor. Seeing no other comments or questions, I'll call for the roll, please.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in